Hey there, everybody. I'm CCB Dolan here with CCB Rise, bringing you the latch match of the day for day 3 of the NEO2 2. We've got Warlords of the Deep, Hydra Reloaded in red, versus Semicolon drop table users in blue. Something we've never seen in this tournament yet.
Yeah.
2 Hugins.
Yeah, this is very interesting on Semicolon's side. They've brought 2 Hugins, 3 Helas, 2 Bantams, and a Merlin. Very weird setup. Obviously, a kiting setup that wants to control more effectively by bringing the Hugins instead of bringing ships that actually do something. They get more control over the positioning for their opponents. Unfortunately for them, Warlords is a drone-based team, and their positioning probably won't matter all that much. They brought 2 Eoses, 3 Vexors, and a Neros, a Maulus, and a Merlin, which is just a really solid, strong. It's actually almost the exact same setup we saw last match from Thingy.
To me, the clear target that they have to take at some point early on if they want their Hugins to be effective is they've got to get rid of this Maulus. There's going to be some damps on the Vexors, but the damp bonus for those Maulus are going to be really, really strong here. And you can already see pre-reps from the Oneros on these 2 ships.
No damage for now. There is bouncers out for...
It's webs time. Those webs are never going to drop.
Wow, actually, the Warlords team charging. You can see their Eos is flying straight across the field, which makes sense. They just want to get in and get tackles. They have no reason not to. Webs from those Hugins on several of the Vexors. Webs now going away as damps hit the Hugins, and then maybe coming back after the damps drop. You can see rotating damps around really quickly to put pressure on different ships. And Warlord's actually taking the first damage here, the first significant damage on one of those Vexors.
But like we talked about earlier, we see the Bantam taking damage here, and he's going to be much more paper thin. There he goes.
Much paper.
Yep.
Bantam
Captain
down.
Sparrow already dropping down.
Much paper.
Bantam off the field. The other Bantam, the next primary for that team. The Oneros' repping power is going to be so strong, there's no way for those Helos to actually reach out and touch that Oneros.
Did they web the first Bantam, or was that just pure...
That was just pure damage. There was no webs on him.
Wow, that's surprising. There's, of course, no tracking bonuses on any of that. Wow, second one down. That's pretty impressive to me that without any tackle, any painting, or any tracking bonuses for their sentries, they're able to take out those Bantams. I feel like that shouldn't happen.
Warlords of the Deep is just that good. Their drones are actually better than all other drones.
So with no logistics on the field, they should start applying damage soon to some of these bigger targets. You see here Hela and Hugin hanging out together, trying to run away from the Warlords of the Deep. And in the meantime, Warlord's taking some damage on that Vexor, that same Vexor, but the Oneros having no problem keeping him up for now. And looks like they're going to take out the Merlin next for the Semicolon team.
Yep. If these Helas can't actually start applying their damage on something, what they need to do is they need to get Hugin webs on the Oneros, and the Oneros has to die. If the Oneros doesn't go down...
Action chase going on right here.
Yeah, if the Oneros doesn't go down, this match is going to be a complete clean sweep for Warlords of the Deep here.
Merlin down, and... Web back on a Vexor. They are having an easy time kiting, I think. I think that, their original goal of keeping stuff away from them
just boundary violated
is working out just fine. Oh my gosh, he did. They were, I was thinking they were actually orbiting the beacon because they were flying all the same direction, so they had orbit at 100 or something on the
He just flew directly out of the arena, but Rep's catching on that Vexor. Rep's really late on the Vexor, but I think he'll probably hold just because the long-range Helo damage just isn't enough to break him at any significant speed. But you can't really boundary violate one of your 3 Helas when you have also 2 Hugins on the field doing no damage. It's going to be, as long as this Vexor holds, I don't think Warlords of the Deep is going to lose a single ship here.
Probably not. Second Hela the second Hela after the first one boundary violated. Wow, going really fast through armor and through structure.
No reps on the field. That's what happens to Helas. Like, Vexors and Eoses do a ton of damage.
You could see, actually, that was interesting. I want to go back. There is... They're not using sentries. Warlords here are using augmented ogres, berserker 2s, hammerheads. They're going with mixed flights, the max DPS loadout from Vexors rather than sentries.
Yep, that's really probably why we saw those Bantams go down so quick, was probably Warrior 2s.
Yep, there was a mix of mediums and warriors that were able to track probably just fine. That's also why there's so much delay between when one target dies and the next one takes damage. This is a really interesting choice. Hugin down for Semicolon drop table users. Most teams would go with sentries, I think, but this setup brings more total potential damage by quite a bit, and it also has the advantage of, like in this fight, if they're up against a kiting team, there's no way to outrun their drones. I mean, they bring the drones with them, so once you get tackled, they're going to show up with their flights and be able to put that damage on you. But it also means there's this huge delay. I mean, as we saw at the start of the match, it took forever before they got damage onto anything.
And that delay is really the time that Semicolon drop table users would have to capitalize on.
Yeah.
But they have no ability to capitalize with that Oneros on the field.
Right. I mean, you would want them to be killing the Oneros. They weren't able to do that. probably because they're pretty light on damage. I mean, the Oneros can just kind of abuse the range on whatever drones the healers drop, and
so
be
this
just
is the
fine.
thing.
Maybe even just tank it because it's really only 3 ships.
This is the thing. If you don't have something that can kill a logistics cruiser very early on in the fight and kill him with a decent amount of certainty, you have to either bring a team that's tanky enough to withstand the long game, and that doesn't mean double Bantams. That means another logistics cruiser yourself, or that means having so much damage that you can just overwhelm that Oneros if you can't snipe him out. And they brought neither. 3 healers double Hugin is not going to bring enough damage to break Oneros reps, and Bantams don't have the ability to stand against extended damage.
Gila down, so just 1 Hugin left. I wonder if, I mean, this would surprise me a lot, but it's possible that Semicolon drop tables thought they were going to be against a really turret-based team, something like Astartes or, I don't know, Thoraxes. I mean, it would be weird for Warlords to bring something like that, but against that kind of setup, I could see this working. But in any other situation, I think the Hugins are a really weird choice. Most teams don't have their damage limited so heavily by where their ship is actually at. I guess this would have worked well against like the Proteuses last match.
Yeah.
They would have controlled them really well. That would have gone pretty well, pretty good for them. But I don't know. This just seems really weird. They also forego links, which is something that's really important in the tournament. That might have something to do with why the Bantams died. Anyway, 1 ship left. Have to catch up to that Hugin.
We can only hope that this match is an example of the blowout that's going to happen in Gunnar Nelson's fight, which actually started just a few minutes ago. Currently starting, so make sure you tune in for that. Gunnar Nelson, CCP, Iceland, EVE Online's favorite fighter.
Tune in for that unless you don't like people hitting other people, and then I wouldn't recommend it.
But it's going to be people grappling other people. Gunnar Nelson is a grappling specialist. We see now this last Hugin
getting grappled pretty hard right now. He's
going to be grappled by a lot of drones.
Yes. You could see a second ago, you can almost see on this screen, but that giant, well, you can see the drone right here. This is probably a hobgoblin.
You can see the drone hot on the tail.
This is an augmented hobgoblin, probably.
Hot on the tail of this Hugin. It's a chase.
2,200 meters a second is just about fast enough to outrun all these drones' damage, apparently. But it doesn't matter. He will die. He's turning now. That's bad for him. Slowing down to 1,400.
Here comes the damage. The damage is catching up. Get chunked.
Oh, another turn.
No, don't keep turning.
Whoa, he juked that hobgoblin like crazy. Hobgoblin has no idea what to do. He's 60k away from him now. All right, into the boundary it looks like. So very strong Warlords of the Deep team, not slowing down for now. We'll go back and talk to you guys for just a sec after an ad, and that'll be it for today.
All right.